Okay, here are three things that I loved about the Lions' first preseason game and three things that I hated. I'll do the things that I love first, stick around for the things I hated. I'll go through the things I love first pretty quick so we can spend the most of our time what I hated, and you can tell me what your thoughts were as well. So, what I loved was first one, Jared Goff. Love to see him out there, love to see him playing. Perfect, right? Don't need to play too much. Just get out there, get a couple snaps, get that first really reps live with a healthy offensive line. And when I see Jared Goff, I think to myself, he's not terrible. Like, I think there's so much talk about him that when you watch him, you're like, awesome, awesome. And you look at our schedule, he is better than, I mean, 9 or 10 teams on our schedule, the quarterbacks on those schedules. So it's like, oh my gosh, we're going to have the advantage at quarterback, at offensive line. Offensively, like, we're going to have the advantage over the teams that we're playing. Now we'll get to defensively and how that's going to be a struggle, but Jared Goff looked good, made the throws, just, small sample size, but it's like good to see him out there. Love it. Next one, offensive line. This is the first time we saw the offensive line all together. And since we drafted Penei Sewell, we really wanted to see all the guys out there, Jonah, Penei, Taylor, everybody was out there together, knocking off the rust. You got to imagine this is their first time going full live against another opponent all together. Looked great to see. Love that as well. Next one was Hutchinson. I mean, come on. Like, the guy just, we see it now. We see it. We've seen it in Hard Knocks, practice, comments. Now we see it, but it's like, what can you do in a game? I want to see you in a game. I want to see you in a game. Boom, makes a play. That's an individual. Can't scheme that up. That's just an individual making a play. That's what you need. That's how you win in the NFL, right? The Dan Campbell speeches, all the things that we're seeing on Hard Knocks, all great, all part of it. But you got to have players. And finally, we have a player right there. Boom, makes a play, like a 8-yard loss. Love it. And a bonus one that I love, Funchess. Just as being a Michigan guy, seeing Funchess come in, he's been injured, he's COVID, opt out, and then to see him, man, have a little juice, jumped over a guy, caught a touchdown pass, just like, man, there's an athlete. I love it. Great to have him on the team. The next one, or let's switch now. The next one, we're gonna switch to the things that I hated and things that was just like, oh boy, like, right, all the Hard Knocks things, everything's exciting, but when you see some things that go wrong on the field, you're like, oh yeah, like, we got a ways to go. No worry about, no question about that. So the first one, the backup QB situation, and I know they're backup QBs, and I know that most teams, if you go to your backup QB, you're going to be in trouble. But ours just seem, man, like, I feel like in a backup QB, you want a guy with a high ceiling, or a guy that you just don't know about, it has some potential, or young, exciting. Give me something. Or a guy that was like injured, but he's having a chance to play now, or there's some sort of ceiling there. There's some sort of, he's a backup for a reason, but there could be something there, or just a really good veteran guy that is just like, kind of a classic case where you're just not great to be a starter, but you're definitely a backup and you bounce around the league for years because you're a backup. We don't have either. We have, and I'll take Blau over Boyle just because Blau is going to make something happen. He seems a little bit more not as crazy with the, like, Blau or Boyle, excuse me, when he goes back, he's like he's at a carnival and he's just going to throw the ball hard as he can because he does have a good arm. He has a great arm. But there's a difference between having a great arm and being a good quarterback. I mean, obviously, you got to have some accuracy, some pocket presence. He goes back there and he's got that thing loaded up, and it's just like, oh boy, well, I don't know if he's going to throw this thing 50 yards down the field or if he's going to zing it, into the chest of a guy 5 yards away from. I don't know. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Next one, number 2, run defense, right? This is the big one. This is just one we've just struggled with for so long. And I think just watching it and seeing it, just hoping we'd, be a little bit better. Again, it's preseason. I get that. I know there's a lot of things that can change. But just like we're saying, hey, good things about the first team offense going right down the field, first team-ish defense, man, just come on. I can't go through another year like this where we're just giving up big runs. Quarterbacks are scrambling, no real push. and we play the Eagles on week 1, which is just like one of the worst matchups for us. They run the ball all over laterally. They do all kinds of things, and they have a mobile quarterback as well. So didn't like that. And then the last thing number 3 thing that I hated seeing out there was Jared Davis. Now, if you listen to Craig and I, we weren't putting our hopes, dreams, futures in Jared Davis's hands by any means, but he was a perfect example of a pickup of a physical guy that loves football that we wanted to see in the Aaron Glenn scheme led by Dan Campbell. Just, man, what if he could just be better than he's ever been and just be a really good piece for us? But he just looked the exact same that I've ever seen him. Just bad penalties, missed tackles, just kind of not, he's there and he's going hard, but it's not really doing anything. That's the Jared Davis that I didn't want to see, and we saw. So those are the 3 things that I loved, 3 things that I hated. Make sure you comment things that you liked or didn't like. But for me, it's preseason. Number 1, what I've learned about preseason is you can learn everything and nothing all at the exact same time. So you got to be careful. But I think we could see the offense, first team offense, go down, look at some of the weapons, the offensive line, and you can say that looks good, feel good about it. Same thing can be said about the defense. So a lot of things that happened last year, and you got to remember last year we were terrible on defense, bottom 5 in the league in every category. And you're not going to win. And even with a much improved offense, it's just going to be too hard to win consistent like that. I mean, you're going to win more than we did last year with a better offense, right? If the defense basically stays the same, but we need the defense to be a little bit better. Hutchinson has shown that he can come in an immediate plug and play improvement, but man, where is the rest of kind of that juice that we need? Again, preseason 1, got some guys that didn't play. Levi and Josh Pascal did not play, but I need to see a little bit more. And so let me know in the comments your thoughts as well. And then I want to go back to Funchess real quick before we end this video. Just another minute on the video is Funchess is a guy that you saw he provided a matchup problem. He provides a little juice on the tight end spot. He's just an athletic guy that was more athletic than I was expecting. For some reason, I pictured him being like 36 years old. He's not that old. He's a guy that can play still. And if we can get 1 year out of him, I mean, really, that's what we're looking for. We know his story. We know he was injured in 19, COVID in 20, and then last year I think he was injured as well. So if we can get him up and going, man, that's another like just kind of juice, athletic wise that we just didn't have to go with Hawkinson around the tight end, wide receiver, flex position. That would be nice. So let me know in the comments your thoughts. Make sure you subscribe, and we will see all of you on the next one.